Hello and welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You are gathered with us tonight for the most chaotic wrestling review show in the multiverse. This is All For
NAWT. Not.
Naught.
Pretty close. Pretty close. Pretty close. Getting better every time. All right. So, yes, we are here for another episode of All for Naught. It is Wednesday, October 4th, and we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw and NXT from this week, from the 2nd and the 3rd. Actually, I guess we should start just real quick. We did have NXT No Mercy on Saturday. We did the watch along for that. So if you weren't here for us and you're interested in that, you can always watch it. It's always on YouTube, so you can check it out. Let's see. We'll just fire through the winners and losers real quick. On the kickoff show, Blair Davenport beat Kalani Jordan. We had Braun Breaker beat Baron Corbin, and which was a good match. We
I thought
had.
Baron Corbin won.
Hold on for just a second. Oh, you're right. I apologize. You're right. Baron Corbin defeated Braun Breaker. I apologize. By pinfall. That's my mistake. And what was a good match? Uh, Trick Williams beat Dominic Mysterio for the North American title with the help of Dragon Lee as referee. Uh, we had the family retain the titles in a fatal four-way tag team match against the Creeds. Los Humbertos Garzas and Out the Mud. We had Noam Dar beat Butch to retain his Heritage Cup for like the 4th year in a row. And then we had Ilya Dragunov beat Carmelo Hayes for the NXT Championship for his first reign as NXT Championship or NXT Champion. And then we had Becky Lynch retain her NXT Women's title against Tiffany Stratton. Overall, I thought it was a decent pay per view. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it obviously wasn't as good as Wrestle Dream that was on the next night, but it was never expected to be. But
No.
NXT is definitely. I like where NXT is at the moment. I enjoy watching NXT, and I thought No Mercy was a solid
Wrestle
show.
Dream might have been my favorite pay-per-view of the year.
Yes, I would agree with that. I think that's yeah. Yeah, I mean, other than that, or Wrestle Kingdom at the beginning of the year. Those are still two of my those two are, and that's just because Osprey Omega was so
Yeah.
good that I mean, not that the show wasn't good beyond that, but yes, Wrestle Dream was amazing. All right, we also did a watch along for that, so if you can always go back and check that out on YouTube as well. So that brings us into Raw of this week, which was the show after, or which is the go home show for Fastlane this Saturday. So it started off with Nia Jax. The show opened with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler fighting on the ramp. Which ultimately led to they were supposed to have a match, but I guess it didn't. That never really happened. Raquel Rodriguez comes out and joins Shayna Baszler, and then Mommy's music hits, and Rhea Ripley comes back. So she is back. Uh, there are 4 women are in the ring: Baszler, Jax, Raquel Rodriguez, and the returning Rhea Ripley. Uh, Rhea basically clears everybody out of the ring. They go to commercial break. They come back, and then we get Rhea in the ring saying she has some business with the Judgment Day, and basically calls out Dom and Damien to the ring. Finn's not there because he's injured. So We've got these guys in the ring, and she basically says, "You guys got to get your shit together." What'd you think so far of this opening? What'd you think of the Nia Jax opening Shayna Baszler segment first to start the show? What'd you think
Uh,
about
uh,
this Dom and Judgment Day segment?
I wasn't crazy about it, but like it could have been worse.
Which one? Nia Jax or both of them?
Both of them.
Let's see.
The Judgment Day was definitely better.
The crowd basically booed Dominic, so he couldn't say anything, or he couldn't basically hear what he said,
As they should.
uh, as they should. Blah 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 blah. Let's see. Main event: Jey Uso made his way down to the ring to a loud ovation, and then we ultimately had Adam Pearce come down and announce that they were going to have a match tonight. Oh no, for Saturday. I'm sorry, Fastlane. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso to take on Finn Balor and Damian Priest at Fastlane. Uh, they had a little video package of Jade Cargill and the press they received for signing her, which was interesting. What do you think about that? What do you think about Jade Cargill? Where do you think she's coming? When do you think she's coming?
I assume
How's
she's
she making
taking the
her?
title off of Becky.
And when do you think that happens?
I don't know.
So Becky holds the belt till Jade takes it from her.
Hmm.
Yeah. Then we got Alpha Academy and Imperium, which is furthering. I'm not totally sure. Like, it seems to me to be somewhat furthering the not totally resolved Chad Gable and Gunther, even though Gunther's beat Gable twice when it really mattered. Uh, but Gunther's battling Champa for the IC belt, so I'm not totally sure. But we had Imperium versus Alpha Academy here. Imperium defeated Alpha Academy. Gunther basically gave him an ultimatum, which was win or I'm going to kick your ass. Not really kick your ass, but just kind of, you're going to be whatever. On the outs with me, essentially. I don't know if you're going to be out of Imperium, but you're going to be in the shit list. So, which they already are, which I'm not totally sure what difference that makes, but, mm, uh, you know, it is what it is. Anything to say about this match here?
Um,
Or the stuff with Gable and Alpha Academy and Imperium and Champa and
it's good, but it makes me feel like Ciampa's not going to win, and I'm really hoping Ciampa wins. So
yeah. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. Champa seems like they're doing two storylines at once. It feels like they finished the Gable Gunther storyline, but didn't want to finish the Alpha Academy Imperium storyline. I don't know. It's weird. Like I don't. They've definitely moved on to Champa Gunther, but yet at the same time they still have this kind of lasting feud with Alpha Academy. So hold on for just one second. Sorry about that. I'm fighting a cough, so I apologize. Then we had highlights of the Extreme Rules match between Tiffany Stratton, Becky Lynch, and No Mercy. Hyping it up. Then they showed a photo of the nasty cut in which Becky required 11 stitches to close. It's kind of nasty. Uh, we had Adam Pearce backstage with Tegan Knox. And they were talking about her opportunity. Natty came out and they talked some more, and she's going to have a match later in the show. Tegan Knox's show. Then we had Bronson Reed, who defeated Cedric Alexander. I was I I forgot Cedric Alexander still worked for WWE. I mean, I was happy to see him. I was kind of disappointed to see him take a loss here, but Big Bronson
Yeah, we
Reed
haven't
has
seen
won a
him
couple
in
matches and
forever.
is definitely getting a push. What?
Yeah, we haven't
What were
seen
you
him in
saying?
forever.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him in forever.
Yep. Anything about this match or anything about
Um, good seeing Cedric and good win for Bronson. They want to do something with him. I'm not sure they know what exactly, but something.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely pushing him toward something. I guess we'll see what that ends up ultimately being. They
I
showed
think the
replays.
thing for him would be facing Shinsuke if Shinsuke beats Seth.
Yeah, they do have a history, so um, could definitely tie that in. And yeah, I mean I think that would be fun too. Bronson Reed should be in that main event picture, I think. Then we have a replay of Ivar attacking Xavier Woods last week on Raw. Um, and then which was what it was. Adam Pearce on the phone with Drew McIntyre. McIntyre saying he doesn't want to do Miz TV. Uh, then we have my least favorite segment in professional wrestling, which we've had, it seems to be 3 nights in a row. I swear. Oh, wait a sec. Let me. Oh, no, I apologize. Wait, wait a second. Did I do this in the wrong order here? No. Okay, so we had my least favorite part, which was a contract signing. Uh, I don't know
It was
why
your
we.
least favorite part. I really enjoyed it.
I don't know if it was my least favorite part, but it's my least favorite wrestling segment overall, just in
Oh
general. I hate
well, okay,
contract
that's
signings.
fair. I thought this was a
Mhm.
real good one. Champ on the mic was fantastic.
I mean, as far as these go, this one was better than they have been in the past. But yeah, I just don't really care for these. Um, so let's see. Adam. Okay, then we had Judgment Day in the locker room complaining about Adam Pearce's decision. Rhea tells Priest to leave to listen to McDonough. He might have something to actually say. So it sounds like maybe Rhea might be in support of JD, or at least listening to what he's got to say, and maybe bringing him into being part of Judgment Day. I think that's what they're slowly trying to imply there. So I don't know. It sounds like the only person that doesn't really want him there at the moment is Damien. So if you got, what, 3 people out of 4 want him, so I guess it seems like, the majority would rule. But I guess we'll see what ends up happening. You think JD McDonough ends up ultimately just joining Judgment Day?
I mean, I don't see why not.
Did you get the impression that Rhea wanted him there as well
Uh,
from
it
this
seemed like
segment?
Rhea valued his input because
Yeah,
he actually, he does have a good mind. Like he doesn't say things that are dumb. His ideas are good. Like it's
yeah.
better to listen to him than dismiss him.
Then we have the New Day making their way to the ring. Woods is going to fight Ivar next after the commercial. Kofi Kingston's going to be on commentary for the match. Unfortunately, Woods takes the L here. It looked like there might have been a botched power bomb in the corner at one point. Uh, Ivar hit a moonsault. Where Ivar tried to hit the moonsault. Sorry, Woods was able to avoid it. Rolled up for the pin, and then the Viking Raiders or the Viking immediately attacked him, and Kofi came in to try to help. It was okay. I mean, there's obviously they're trying to continue this feud, even though Eric is out with the New
Hmm.
Day and the Viking Raiders. I guess it is what it is. I mean, uh, Woods, got the pin here with the inside cradle. I don't know. The funniest part of this whole match was Kofi Kingston dancing at Wade Barrett. He was like, doing the whole hip swivel right at Wade Barrett. And Wade was very uncomfortable, which was hysterical. Let's see. We had Tegan Knox warming up. Becky Lynch comes out. Her arm is in a sling. Says she can't wrestle. We already kind of knew that. Then we get Chelsea Green and Piper Niven making their way to the ring as Chelsea Green is going to fight Tegan Knox. Tegan Knox gets the win over Chelsea Green. Oh, sorry. Seth Rollins before that gave a promo about his feud with Shinsuke. Shinsuke attacked him from the back and proved he could keep him down for a 10 count, kind of, because at the end, after he tried it for the fourth time, he really had to speed up the count to get to 7, 8, 9, 10 and try to get out of the segment because it had gotten old by the time he had tried it for the fourth time. Like the first time he put him down and started counting to 10, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then the second time I was like, okay. And then the third time, and then by the fourth time when he just sped count, I was like, okay, yeah, let's just get that and get out of here. That's clearly not working. So I mean, I get what they were trying to do, but it was too long in the tooth with him getting up too many times, But
They still wanted to have Seth looking strong by the end of it. Yeah.
no doubt. What'd you think about that? The whole Seth Rollins Shinsuke segment.
I think it's time we get this title off of Seth.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Let's see. Then we had Drew McIntyre make his way to the ring. He doesn't want to be on Miz TV, or he said he won't be on Miz TV. So I guess Adam Pearce canceled Miz TV. Um,
Hmm?
and Drew came out and basically explained why he's been being. He says he's not being a jerk. He's just not being, you know, for lack of a better term, save a hoe, right? The guy's running around saving everybody, taking everybody else's beef. He's going to mind his own and let his wrestling speak for itself and take care of what's right in front of him when he wants the title. So I guess it is what it is. He's not going to trust JU, so he doesn't have to. He's not going to. And that's basically where we're at. So the Miz comes out and starts talking shit. This ultimately ends up in a match, which is not really a match. The Miz is in his suit the whole time, and ultimately McIntyre gets the Miz with the Future Shock DDT. I thought this was even for the Miz, it was only all
Yeah.
right.
And I'm a Drew fan,
I
and I
get
was
Drew, and
jazzed about it.
I understand where Drew's coming from. I'm not sure I like the attitude and character. I'm not sure that I don't know. It's not
Yeah.
doing it for me at the moment. Let's put it that way. Let's see. We had. Uh, what came next? Trying to figure out what's going on here. We had. Trying to find my. I guess we got to Gunther. Ultimately, the main event was Gunther and Champa for the IC title. We know now Gunther retained in what was a really good match. My concern, and although it's not quite the same because he's been dominant, but not indestructibly dominant. But I'm worried that
Yeah.
they're almost backing themselves into a corner a little bit with Gunther. Like, who else is out there? Like, I don't get me wrong. Like, he looked vulnerable against Ciampa. He looked vulnerable at times against Gable, which is different than say Jade did in her run, or than even Goldberg did during his streak, or whatever those kind of things. But like, you know, at the same time, like if he just beats everybody, he's gotta lose somewhere, right? At some point. Otherwise, what? I mean, just holds the belt forever. He's already the longest, you know, reigning intercontinental champion of all time. I mean, he's got to move on and do something else. Either Seth Rollins or who's ever going to take that belt from Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns somewhere down the road or whatever happens with the two belts he holds and doesn't do anything with. Um, I don't know. I mean, at some point, I would think Gunther wants more than just this. So I don't know. What do you think of this? What do you think of Ciampa losing? Oh, I guess we should talk about the last part of it too, where Johnny Wrestling came back. So Ciampa lost the match. Imperium started to beat up on come to the ring to beat up on Champa, and Gargano came out to save him. And we had basically the last shot of Raw is Gunther, or not Gunther, Champa in one corner and Gargano kind of in another corner looking at each other. I assume we're supposed to imagine that we're getting a DIY reunion. Um,
I would love that. And also, like, if we include Dexter with them to run ringside, like, I I'd love it for DIY to win the tag team titles, and like you have Dexter come out of nowhere when Dominic tries to interfere and just kidnap him,
that would be cool.
or
That would be
JD.
cool.
He could kidnap JD.
Yeah, that would work as well. I haven't seen Dexter in a while. Come to think of it, I mean, is he on SmackDown?
No,
Because I don't see him on Raw and I don't see him on NXT.
he is on Raw, but we just haven't seen him in forever.
Okay, so that makes more sense. We did, and I missed it at one point. We did have Indy Hartwell come out and give a. Oh, that I'm sorry, that was on NXT. I apologize. That's the next part. We're still on Raw. That was the end of Raw. Um, so that brings us to NXT from last night. 10-3. This was the fallout of No Mercy. Essentially, we had Becky Lynch start the show off with an in-ring segment. Um, and she was talking about how she isn't cleared to compete, but neither is Tiffany. She said they beat the piss out of each other, and she put Stratton over quite a bit. And then we get Lyra Valkyrie, who comes out and basically says, I loved you, you were my favorite, whatever, but um, I want to challenge you for the title. And then we get Indy Hartwell, who is now back apparently on NXT, at least for the moment, which is good because she hasn't done anything on the main roster. So at least give her something on TV. So she comes out, and the three of these guys have a little talk. And then Roxanne Perez comes out, and she wants her title back. So Lynch is extremely happy because she's going to sit back and watch Perez and Valkyrie and Hartwell battle it out in a three-way, and the winner she will fight at Halloween Havoc next week, I guess. There's going to be 2 nights of Halloween Havoc. Well, technically 2 weeks, night one and night two, but they'll come in successive weeks. So I don't know if this match will be on night one or night two. I wasn't sure if that was totally clear from this, but it will happen at Halloween Havoc, which will be the next 2 NXT shows. What'd you think of this? Who do you? Yeah, what'd you think of this?
um,
Just this opening promo segment.
I'll give it a thumbs up, but
Give it a thumbs up.
I'll give it a thumbs up.
Uh, then we had it moved on. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was okay. Um, then we moved on to Tyler Bate and Butch versus Gallus. Um, this was a fun match, as it should be. This is one of those things that made NXT UK so great. All four, well, five of these guys
Hmm.
technically, but yeah, I mean, and I love seeing them here now on the main NXT roster since there's no UK anymore. I'm still curious to know. I know that Triple H mentioned a long time ago about doing, NXT Europe or whatever when they dissolved UK. I don't know if they're still planning on doing that at some point, especially with the sale to Endeavor or not. But I guess we'll have to see. I enjoyed this. Tyler Bate and Butch won, um, and it furthers the ongoing feud that they basically had during the Heritage Cup blocks and matches that these guys all competed in. So, what'd you think of this segment? Anything you want to say?
Um, it's weird seeing Butch on NXT. I don't know how long it's going to be for, and so I'm trying to curb my expectations because, like,
Yep.
if he's just there for like another week or two and then he's gone, like, I can't blame them for not like pushing him and stuff.
Right. I did fail to mention that Ridge Holland ran down to try to save Butch during this at the end of this. So I don't know if that means Ridge Holland is now going to be on NXT 2 or not. But they might as well. He's not doing anything on the main roster, so might as well put him on NXT, I guess, to do something, I suppose.
Did Sheamus get injured?
Then we had Ilya. I don't know. I was kind of wondering the same thing. I don't really watch SmackDown. He's on SmackDown, so I honestly don't know. You guys watched it on Friday. When was the last time you saw him? It's been a while, huh?
I can't remember. Feels like it's been a while.
Yeah. Then we had Ilya in the ring. He's talking about how he won the title. You can refer to him by many names, but especially new NXT champion. Dragunov talks of Carmelo and how it was a incredible fight. Trick comes down and whoop that trick is extremely over with the crowd. The crowd loves that. Um, and so they have a little bit. They have a talk. He's telling William to die, but defending is another. Dragunov says a question. Let's see. When declines the offer, that he'll defend it alone. He is going to focus on Dominic Mysterio tonight because Trick Williams has another defense this evening against Dominic Mysterio. That basically. Oh, anything about the Ilya segment?
It was good.
Yeah, I
No
thought it was good.
complaints from me. Yeah.
No complaints. Next, we had the number one contenders match that we just talked about in the previous segment. Indy Hartwell, Lyra Valkyrie, and Roxanne Perez. The winner and new number one contender, Lyra Valkyria, which I'm okay with. She hasn't been in that spot yet. Indy's held the belt. Roxanne's held the belt. Lyra hasn't. Um, I'm assuming that Lyra is going to be losing to Becky, as you said. You think that Becky's holding the belt until Jade comes. So I
Hmm.
guess that's part of why they probably do this here. It's Lyra's first title shot, and she probably should lose. And if she loses to Becky, it's no big deal because Becky's the man, and she can still look good in a loss. So I suppose that's the thought process here. What do you think?
So she defends against Lyra. Then she has her match with Tegan on Raw.
Right.
And then Jade comes in and leads to the match that they'll have together in the future. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. That could make sense. I can see that.
Because
I wouldn't be
I
mad
don't
at
know
that.
why they'd wait too long for Jade to come in.
Yeah. I can understand that. Tegan Knox, before this is over, Tegan Knox comes out on stage and says she'll beat them both if she has to, referring to Lynch and Valkyria. Then we got Gigi Dolan versus Blair Davenport. Blair Davenport beat her in what felt like a squash match, essentially. I mean, it, it wasn't, but it was very short and very quick. And as I felt like Davenport won pretty convincingly. I don't know what the deal is with Gigi Dolan or what NXT wants to do with her. I thought they were kind of pushing her a little bit, or at least making her a worthy, women's wrestler. And then I don't know. Like I said, it looked like she just got basically jobbed out here in Blair. So, what do you think?
Yeah, it kind of felt like she got jumped out.
Yeah. We have right now we have going on the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament, and we had the first match of that, which was Izzy Dame versus Kalani Jordan. Uh, Kalani Jordan got the win. Um, what was it? Okay match. Not real, not a whole lot to say about it. So far, Kalani Jordan is the only one that's actually stood out. But again, she's been on the show before a couple times. Wasn't overly impressed with Izzy here, but I guess I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it was all right, but
Yeah,
I'm hoping that there's better matches to come.
I agree. Backstage, we had Duke Hudson and Andre Chase ask Thea Hall if they could walk her out to the ring. JC Jane tells her it's a good idea, so the group goes out to uh, a Chase U chant. Uh, We have ultimately we have Thea Hall and Jason Jane versus Lola Vice and Electra Lopez. Hale and Jane get the win as they should. They're clearly pushing these two. Um, Anything to say about that one?
Um, I think it's an interesting idea, like where like so JC Jane's been portrayed as this like bad influence and everything, but like here she is of like nah, chase you, they got your back, they want to look out for you, like why don't turn them away, like you can do both things.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting because you're right. I did think that at one point Jason Jane was trying to basically pull her away from Chase U, but now it seems like she's okay with her doing both. Maybe JC Jane's trying to turn Chase U as a whole. Maybe JC Jane's trying to join Chase U. I'm not totally sure. Maybe they're not totally sure what they want to do, so maybe they're just kind of throwing stuff at the wall. I'm not totally sure. Um, but I don't mind Thea Hale and JC Jane together. Um, I like Lola Vice and Electra Lopez. I kind of wish they had gotten a little bit more time here, and this could have been a little bit better match. But
Hmm.
um, then we get the announcement that John Cena is coming to NXT. He's gonna be in Mello's corner.
uh,
Um,
they're really trying to improve their deal for NXT, huh?
yes, they are. And in that same vein, breaking news for the first time ever: Cody Rhodes will be coming to NXT, and supposedly has a major announcement to make. We don't know what that announcement is. Obviously, that's a mystery as of now. Any idea what you think it'll be? What it could be? If you had to speculate, make a wild guess.
Ah, he's gonna start a faction. I don't know.
I think he is going to challenge Ilya Dragunov for the NXT Championship.
Why?
I don't know, just
Like that?
because it's Cody Rhodes and he needs a title and NXT needs eyes and obviously they don't want to. They didn't let him have Roman's belt. They don't want him to have Seth's belt. They're not going to let him. I don't know.
Well, he's
So,
not even attempted to challenge for Seth's belt, and like
but
he
that's what I mean. I
stated
mean,
that
he's
the
not
only
even
title
in
he's
that.
interested in is the Roman belt.
Right. I mean, but he's not even like he's not hovering around the Seth belt at all. Like, hey, you have a belt I want. He's not even like in that. I mean, I know it's Shinsuke and Seth at the moment, but like you can have more than one person like breathing down the neck of the champion at a time, right? And he seems to be more than content to just be kind of caught up in this Uso, New Day, or Judgment Day, Sami Zayn KO vortex. And so I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see what he has to say. But he will be on next week on Halloween Havoc to say something. We will be here to watch it and talk about it the next day. Then we had the main event of the night, which was the NXT North American Championship. Trick Williams versus Dominic Mysterio, this time with Mommy in the corner. And as you can imagine, with Mommy back, all things Judgment Day are good again. And Dominic Mysterio regains his NXT North American Championship. So I don't know if they're technically gonna. I don't know if they're hot potatoing this. I don't know if he's Williams will ever hold it again. But his little 1 week reign was, I guess, what it was. Seems kind of odd. I understand that it hypes up and builds up Rhea's importance, which is great. She's back, and as a result, now they don't lose. So I get it. But at the same time, it's weird to do that for a week. So I'm not
Hmm.
totally sure. Um, yeah, who knows? But needless to say, he is the champion again. But before, oh, you want to talk about that at all?
Um, yeah, it did feel a little weird.
It does feel weird, right? Before the show ended, we had Roman Reigns has given Paul Heyman the task of being in the corner of Braun Breaker next week.
Why?
The
Why?
question is why? Why? That's what inquiring minds want to know. This makes no sense. Is
No.
is is Roman scouting someone to be a new member of the bloodline? Isn't the bloodline a family? Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that Sami Zayn was not family, but he was honorary Uso. I suppose you could make whoever else you get an honorary whatever to have whatever, so he doesn't actually have to be a member of the bloodline or the actual family member. But this seems weird
At
to me.
least
I don't
it's
understand
someone
the
who acts like
connection.
they want to be a part of it.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure what this is about, but I guess we'll find out next week, maybe? I don't know. What'd you think about it? Weird, right?
Very weird.
Very
Made no
weird,
sense to
very
me.
weird. So that was actually the end of NXT this week, which I thought was a decent show. NXT's been hot for the last month or two. I've enjoyed it a lot. Um,
Hmm.
I like where they've been at. I enjoyed No Mercy. I thought this was a good episode. Even though I think it's a lot of pandering, like you said, bringing John Cena and whatchamacallit, Cody Rhodes to NXT. I'm interested to see what they do.
Hmm.
Mello and Cena together kind of excite me a little bit. Um, and if for no other reason, just because I have zero idea what Endeavor slash HBK slash Triple H slash Vince McMahon is doing with NXT and Cody Rhodes. So I'm here for the announcement just to kind of see what chaos and shit they're going to put out there. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, I mean, I think that NXT was good this week. I think it was. I didn't think Raw was bad this week, but I enjoyed NXT more myself.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would
we
agree. NXT was better.
we do as Raw was the we will do formal predictions on Friday Night Fights, but um, because Raw was the go home show for Fastlane, let's talk real quick about the matches that they have scheduled so far for Fastlane next Saturday, and then we'll wrap the show up real quick. So right now, as of now, they have a 2 out of 3. Oh no, I'm sorry, last man standing match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. You can give a prediction now if you want, or you can just talk about it for a minute or two, and then give your final prediction on Friday at Friday Night Fights. What do you think? What do you think happened in this match?
Uh, oh. Tell me your prediction first.
God, this is tough. This is really one of the tougher ones because when you think about the fact that it's Shinsuke and he's really only had what this is his third or fourth opportunity at a major title. Um, in what almost 10 years in WWE now, you think, God, what a disservice that is. And yet you almost don't really remember like that he hasn't been a champion because he's had titles, other titles, and he's been in some factions that did
Intercontinental.
some good work and that kind of stuff. But I, he needs it. It's time. I mean, Shinsuke
It is.
needs this singles win and a huge belt here would be a huge coup for Shinsuke and a big deal for his career at this point. I think Shinsuke should win.
Especially if they're doing the whole NXT Japan stuff.
Right.
Like they've made this big push into the TV market too in Japan. Like
I mean,
it's good for business. It's good for his career, and like he's a legend at this point. Like he was
yeah,
the
I mean,
number one dude in freaking New Japan. Like
yeah. And I think he needs it now. I mean, I think he's had a good career in WWE, but definitely not what I would call. I mean, at this point, if he retired tomorrow, whether he's a Hall of Famer or not, probably is just by default because most people get in. But like, I think it's somewhat debatable to a certain extent. Um, not considering some of the other guys that have got in, and not considering everyone gets in, but just a conversation about how good was Shinsuke's actual WWE career. Um,
mhm.
you know. I think he needs to win here, and Seth doesn't need the belt anymore. He just doesn't. And I think it's better for the story because he's in his head for Shinsuke to win here. And I don't know that Shinsuke keeps the belt forever. I don't know that he doesn't lose it to Seth again down the road after a couple more matches. But like, I think Shinsuke should win here.
He definitely should.
Is that your prediction?
If you're asking me to predict, I would predict him, but
Yeah,
still, it is WWE.
yeah,
They've never had an East Asian
right. Well,
heavyweight
that's
champion.
part of it too. All those things play into it. So yeah, I don't know. And I know that they're huge Seth Rollins fans, so I don't know. We have John Cena and LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. What do you think?
I'm gonna say Bloodline loses.
Yeah, I think Cena and LA Knight go over here too. Just because I
So
think
like
there's
shenanigans are a thing.
right. Yeah, I mean
So
they're
like
both those guys are
I can't
so
say with
over. Like
I
everyone
can't
loves
say with
Cena.
100% certainty, but like
Everyone loves
what
Cena. I don't
should
think they
be.
want to. Yeah, everybody loves Cena. I don't think they really want to see him lose. Or I mean, a lot of people don't like him, but a lot of people do. I don't think they really want to see him lose. LA Knight is super hot at the moment. Like, and I could, these two, this Frankenstein team, they need to win. I suppose if anyone needs to win, they need to win here, right? So, um, let's see, women's WWE Women's Champion Charlotte Flair versus Asuka versus Io Sky. Who do you think walks out of here with the title? You think Io retains?
Uh, I'm gonna say not Oscar.
Not so either Charlotte or Io, huh? I think Io retains here. I mean, I know that they love Charlotte and they want to keep the belt on Charlotte. It seems like at all time. At the same time, Io's pretty hot right now. Asuka and Charlotte have had the belts many times. I mean, Io. I don't know. I just think they. I don't know. I feel like it's not quite time for her to lose it yet.
Charlotte's that transitional champion, though. They'll put the belt on her and then give it to somebody else after.
That's true. This is true. The LWO versus Bobby Lashley in the Street Profits.
Go with Bobby and Street Profits.
Yeah, me too. I don't really care about this match, honestly. I don't. Neither of this really does anything for me. I like the Street Profits. I like LWO. I'm Metza
Hmm.
on Booby Lashley. I don't. So this match doesn't really do a whole lot for me. Those were the only matches I could find so far listed for Fastlane. I assume we'll have more after Raw on or after SmackDown on Friday night. So that ultimately brings us to the end of the show. I'll go ahead and put up our Workhorse Wrestling commercial if I can find it. I thought I had it. Let me see. It's here somewhere. It's here. Oh,
Hey everybody, this is the Workhouse Wrestling Network schedule for this week. Ladies and gentlemen, Mondays on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, you have entered the square circle at 11 a.m. Let me tell you, Sammy and ALW, they battling it out to see who will be the Enter the Square Circle champion. Listen, you can't miss an episode. It is riveting. Okay? So, just a little secret. Tune in 11 a.m. on Monday. Tuesday, it's Seeing Stars, 10:30 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. But ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm about to break your heart. We're taking a break because your girl needs some rest, okay? But when we come back, it's going to be fire because we're going to be seeing these stars from New Japan Pro Wrestling and GCW and Stardom. You ain't going to want to miss that either. But then the real party starts at 10:30 at night on Tuesday on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter at the Cookout, where they play fire games and talk hot topics and have a good time. You're gonna have to pull you up a seat because we're gonna feed you real good. Ladies and gentlemen, on Wednesdays, all for night at 11:30 p.m. That's where you're gonna find the WWE meet. Okay, it is gonna be Raw and NXT with Sammy and ALW, and they preview WWE pay-per-views. Can't miss it. Can't miss it. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, Thursday is live aftermath of Dynamite at 10:15 p.m. on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Listen, we talk all things AEW, Rampage, Collision, the Dynamite from the day before. We preview shows coming up. We preview pay-per-views coming up. That is your one-stop shop for AEW. If you want to find out what happened, tune in at 10:15. Then on Friday, that's when the party starts for the weekend. Friday Night Fights at 8 p.m. on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Starting off at 8 p.m. with WWE SmackDown. And you're going to get the SmackDown from Anika and Sammy, I tell you. But then our parents, one of the parents, CM and ALW, going to come in and they just going to rampage everywhere. So you got to see it, okay? But then you wake up Saturday morning, and you know what you're gonna get? Under the radar with CM and ALW. And you know what you're gonna find? BTE, Impact, ROH, all these great things on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at 11 a.m. Okay? If you missed out on the week, they'll catch you up. And it ain't gonna take forever either. Ladies and gentlemen, on Saturday night, it's Saturday Night is All Right at 8 p.m. where we watch AEW Collision. Ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be great. We have a great time. That's generally when we all come back together again and have a good time on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday's supposed to be our day off. But you know, if it's a pay-per-view, it's a Workhouse Wrestling Network. So make sure you tune in. If there's a pay-per-view on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we will be there. Ladies and gentlemen, you see this icon, YouTube audio, you can listen to us live, play hot games, talk hot topics. Just be great, okay? Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you see this icon on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, click it the next day and you can listen all to the party we had the day before. Ladies and gentlemen, also, last but not least, if you see this on YouTube audio, click it, okay? Because you know what you're going to get? You get to listen to us watch along live to pay-per-views and shows and have a good time, okay? Because we dropping gems. You got Sammy with the food, CM with the knowledge, Anika with the good hard movies and work, and you got ALW who he just drops old school wisdom. Okay? So make sure you join us. Until then, I want to let you know, peace.